going to continue our Q&A on the videos that I entitled Gaining Strength While Cutting. And this is on the video of mindset. So just to kind of recap, I've got all the videos, or excuse me, all of the questions posted right here on the video itself, the mindset video. I'm just going to go through these and answer them, in step-by-step, question by question format. So the first question on here is, looking great, Brad. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Love this video and this series. Is it possible to stay as shredded as you all year round? No negatives like low testosterone or anything. And then there's quite a long discussion that goes after this. So first of all, yes, it is possible to stay shredded year round. I'm going to try to just leave this to as it pertains to me, because when you start talking about other people, differences in metabolism and differences in maintenance calories, etc., I could go on and on and on and on and on. Okay, but basically this is how it pertains to me. Okay, so as I talked about in my video, in regarding to my protein intake, let's talk about my testosterone levels. Okay, so yes, I do follow a fairly low-fat diet. When I'm cutting, a lot of times I stay about 60 grams of fat on my maintenance days, and I just cut down to 20s and the teens. Sometimes for as long as 4 or 5 days when I do that. So again, test levels, if we talk about test levels, I'm pretty sure the one that I'm going to quote you guys, I want to say is my free testosterone, because there's total testosterone, free testosterone, and then it's I think it's the sex binding globulin or something like that. But my total testosterone, I can't remember the exact values. I'm basically right in the middle to the upper end, of normal. However, what the important one is the free testosterone. The free testosterone, okay? And the exact measurement, I think, is nanograms per deciliter or something like that. But a normal range for free testosterone is, I want to say, 49 to, I think it's like 250 maybe nanograms per deciliter, okay? And when I was right in the thick of doing all of this cutting, and doing all the things that I outlined in the strategies, mine was at an 86, okay? So, it's not great. It's kind of lower end of normal, but nonetheless, normal range. And I'm sure there's probably some very genetically blessed women that have 90s, but, that's my testosterone level as I was doing this, okay? Could it be higher? Probably, but at the same time, a lot of times body fat and the amount of body fat and the amount of food that you can eat has a lot to, that affects your testosterone levels as well. So now we've got this long discussion, very interested in answering this question. Would love to maintain this level of lean, even if it means I can't make, quote unquote gains. It is possible, but not for everybody. Let me see if there's some questions here that I can get to. The irony in the middle of all this comes to mindset, because those who are able to maintain it is because they know how to fight hunger and push themselves to keep on track. And so, yeah, a lot of maintaining a physique is executing a protocol consistently that works. And I kind of alluded to this to kind of my video that I outlined on structure and execution. Okay, balance and execution. Balance and execution. And doing things like, if these are my waking hours, this being bedtime and this being waking up, these first few hours I don't eat. I just have coffee and some branching amino acids that I sip on, and I wait until here to eat. So that way, I don't get the greatest amount of calories anyway. It's a lot more satiating, and it's a lot easier for me to execute that if I'm putting that many calories into this period of time as opposed to this period of time. And so, for me, it's a little bit easier because, number one, I know how my body works, and I know what it needs. It needs that, average 2,750 a day, for calories, 17,500 a week. When when I'm cutting, it needs to be about 2250 to 2150. And so that really helps, is knowing what it takes, and then I found ways of making hitting my macros every single day and making it so that it's easy to adhere to. Okay, now I wanted to touch on this. Interesting, we all know one guy with abs year-round who doesn't even count macros, but I'm not talking about dieting and being hungry. I mean maintain and not being hungry. Are you saying for some people they will have to be hungry to keep that level of, whereas others more naturally are predisposed to it? So again, with regard to me, okay, I can pack away food with the best of them. I mean, I've literally tracked my food and ate 10,000 plus calories the day after my show in 2011. I love food. I love to eat just like the next guy, okay? Now that being said, there's a lot of times when I'm hungry. I wish that I could eat more, and I don't, okay? And I think, this is just my opinion, but I think there's something to be said in kind of a natural state for us to be hungry, okay? Because if you look at kind of how God made us, okay, He kind of made us to be kind of hunter-gatherers, right? And so there's periods of time when we were kind of meant to be hungry. We were kind of made to go through periods of starvation and still survive and still perform. Some people more than others, okay? So I've kind of come to grips with the fact that, you know what, it's okay to be a little bit hungry on occasion. It's okay to finish a meal and feel like, you know what, I should eat more, okay? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, okay? But I'm not willing to look the way I would look and never be hungry. You know, at this point in my life, and it could change, I would rather be hungry sometimes than look the way I look now and keep the physique looking the way that I look now, and then more importantly, especially because I am competing in powerlifting, stay in this weight class. That's another big goal of mine, okay? Yeah, I thought Brad was looking exceptionally ripped. You guys can tell me this kind of stuff all day, by the way. It's fine with me. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. Wink, wink, wink. Where was I? Right here. Well, 10 to 12% still looks pretty darn good. Again, I don't really know what I am, to be honest with you. Okay, so yeah, a big long discussion there, and I don't want to, dwell too much on that, but it is possible. Now, one thing I do want to kind of to end on here with this question with, I don't recommend this for everybody. If you are 10 years or younger in the gym, okay, you still got a lot of newbie gains to be made there. And I think it would behoove that person to kind of have an Alberto Nunez approach and kind of go through phases where, you kind of purposely overfeed. And when I say overfeed, I'm talking like that study that I quoted, like 400 calories, a week or so. And then kind of increase that to maybe a couple days, as opposed to like just stuffing yourself, okay? But yeah, if you're 10 years or younger in the gym, there's a lot of muscular gains to be made there, and I would not really recommend a gaintaining approach like I tend to do, okay? And recommend trying to stay ripped all the time. Now, that being said, guys like me that are, kind of more intermediate, kind of breaking into advanced level, 15, 18, 20 years in the gym, body's used to weight training about this time, okay? And so there's Alberto very much uses the terms, the diminishing returns, where all that excess calories is just going to go to body fat, and it's not really going to go to muscle, okay? All right, okay, moving onward here. Brad, I became aware of you through Brett Contreras, and I really appreciate honesty and good energy. Wish you the best. And you know that I'm really surprised by that, and I'm kind of wondering if Brett Contreras even knows who I am. Brett's very well known in business. I kind of doubt it. I have a feeling that he was probably referring to maybe Brad Schoenfield and not Brad Loomis, because Brett Contreras is very well respected in this business. But thank you very much if that was the case. Mine is a very powerful thing. It's up to you to take control of your thoughts and find our motivation. And I think the biggest thing that I learned from this is don't tell yourself that you're dieting. Don't tell yourself that what you're doing. Don't give yourself a reason to say, well, I'm dieting. I could be, for lack of a better term, kind of a puss in the gym. No, don't. Make a plan. Make a plan to progress, kind of using those periodization examples that I outlined, and stick to it. Sure, you might have to flex a little bit here and there, but still plan to progress, and don't tell yourself that you're dieting. Moving on. Are you a surgeon, nurse, or doctor, Brad? I'm neither. I'm a CAT scan tech. In fact, if I can just pan briefly through this room, I've been filming these videos in one of our CAT scan areas. So that's probably why, number one, you hear in the background, and then number two, kind of my health care based, references, and especially like, client confidentiality. That's why. Thanks for the video, man. Let's see, there was one other one that I wanted to make sure that I got to. Nope, I guess that's it. So, perfect. 12 minutes. Those are the questions that are here. Hopefully I answered the big one there with that long discussion and staying ripped, year round. The big thing there is just, first of all, know how your body works, know your maintenance, know what it is that you can get away with, and then just trying to find the lifestyle that fits that, okay?